Okay, I've had a problem with my paper. So the thing is that I have to scratch the whole fucking idea that I had and start over. So I did a 7 page paper that to me I feel is not crap, but is crap. But I have to start over because I feel my idea is wrong. But hopefully, I've done enough writing that I can do something other than what I had. So, Hughes and the name of this paper is it's a comparison. It's called Hughes and Brooks Together and Compared. I'm going to start off. This article with the intro. This article is a contrast and comparison of two poems. They are both written by African American writers. At this time, America was struggling to gather itself and dealing with issues such as racism. The first poet to be introduced is Langston Hughes, and the poem "I Too Sing America." The poem aims to convey a story of a dark-skinned man as he has been delivered into an initiative of proclaiming his right to be an American, while keeping a positive attitude towards a seemingly dark and subtextual aspect, racism. The protagonist continues to drive forward to hold on to a reflection of a better hope of tomorrow. The second poem is written by Gwendolyn Brooks, Be Real Cool. Be Real Cool relays a message to a higher advocation of unconstrained freedom. Might be a bit too wordy. The persona of the poem takes the team through a set of convictions that live in the aspect of staying strong, living hard, and endearment. To conclude, the central themes of I Too Sing America and We Real Cool both contain a centralized tone of power as they individualize in direction. Whereas I Too Sing America leans towards redemption, We Real Cool focuses toward community. To start the poem, I Too Sing America has the tone of moral responsibility in the direction of pointing towards resiliency, one that is reluctant to be given away, as Langston Hughes writes. Right? Okay, I know where I messed up at. Right? I was too broad. Tone of moral responsibility. It's not specific enough, and my thesis sucks. So, I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh. 2-5, lines 2 and 5. The protagonist refuses to give up his self-respect even though he's sent to the kitchen to eat. In reality, this may show a bigger sense of the author setting the tone while stating, "No, you will not break me." So this example can be used to show that the writer intends to give the audience a probity of morality and weight to the character's personality. Too broad again, too many words, but I thought it sounded good. In contrast, We Real Cool by Gwendolyn Brooks also delivers a tone of character in a different manner. The author does not do, the author does this by the execution of a conclusive image. As Gwendolyn Brooks begins with the introduction to her poem, The Pool Player 7 at the Golden Shovel, We Real Cool We, stanza 1, we can directly suggest a direct image of a visualization. The setting automatically turned into the aspect of a dim-lit pool hall crowded with tough guy personalities. Also, the golden shovel seems to relay some sort of weapon reference that could be suspended in juxtaposition of the attitudes within the characters in the poem. In addition to the first poem, I Too Sing America, the structural uses of self-determination is presented. This is prepared toward a definition that ultimately aspires to dreams of tomorrow, as Langston writes. But I laugh, and I eat well, and grow strong, tomorrow, 5 and 8. He notes that if he determines himself to continue by going to the kitchen, that he will thrive to better himself. The reader can continue to speculate tomorrow is coming and conceive the notion that one day things will be better. Unlike We Real Cool by Gwendolyn Brooks, as she contemporarily delivers a use of attitude, the author does this by the execution of a sensation that pushes along the lines of swagger, to worry. Swagger's a good word. In the stanzas given, we see a rougher side of this tone and are exposed to a sort of rebellious monologue. For example, the use of leaving school gives a strong essence of a subtextual defiant notion. The attitude typically comes off as we do as we wish and there's nothing you can do to stop us. Another distinct figure inside of the poem I Too Sing America is characterized in a type of illusion. For the protagonist, there is a collaboration of distinct symbolic meaning that seems to be underlined. As Langston Hughes recites, tomorrow I'll be at the table, when company comes, nobody dare, 8:11. A change is taking place and the table can prose as a meaning of freedom and reconciliation, and not just an ordinary table, but now one can safely say that it could be set as an achievement or goal. Meanwhile, in We Real Cool, its choices of figurative words such as lurk and strike begin to give an identity of ruthlessness and determination. The feeling relates a strong message that feeds the interior that they are willing to endure and never succumb. As Brooke goes on to write, we sing sin, we thin gin, we jazz June, we die soon, 5 and 8. Within the examples given, there is a consolidation that leaves an outlook onto its audience, that anything can be accomplished with the right attitude. The choice of words give way and to form an everlasting enclosure of togetherness. In addition, with the last stanzas of poem I Too Sing America, Langston Hughes carries a proliferating message that solidifies throughout the entire poem of I Too Sing America, as it is so strong that one is forced to deal with the author's attitude as Hughes brings the poem to an end. I too am American, instead of the opening stanza, I too sing America, giving measure to the reader that bestows a broader perspective that I am just as everyone else. In contrast, another element continuing to portray the tone in We Real Cool is its use of cosmic irony. In the last stanza, the rarity of death is portrayed as the actual outcome is manifested. Gwendolyn Brooks writes, we sing sin, we thin gin, we jazz June, we die soon. In this instance, the use of death can actually confer as one with significant attitude. In these sets of stanza, the reader is compelled to a relativity that an act of having fun till the day they die is inevitable, and substitutes the fact that they are going to perish together, and also that the bond between the group is strong. Weak. To continue, the euphony in I Too Sing America has a smooth rolling structure that gives a dense collaboration of tone as it relates to the determination of the persona within the piece, making a proclamation. As Hughes writes, they send me to the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh, and I eat well, and I grow strong. The scheme pattern of words tend to deliver a passion in which the reader can consider the attitude of the dark-skinned brother's demeanor as emulative. It also deploys the flow of the text in a definition as the author recites, I laugh, I eat well, and grow strong, solidifying a type of subtextual rhyme illusion, giving the poem the satisfaction of tone message inside of the poem and gluing the character to the stanzas. In contrast, We Real Cool delivers a sound that is different. The set of rhyme inside of We Real Cool is one of euphony, but at the same time presents itself in a cacophonic relativity, as Gwendolyn Brooks writes. Lurk late, we strike straight, we sing sin, we thin. The use of the word we brings an idea of cacophony, as it resides with powerful stanza dimensions in a heroic lambic style. The way the use of syllables unstressed and stressed give a forceful sensation as a repetitious manner compacts in the lines. The scheme is smooth, but alternatively the reference is strong in elaboration, giving way to an illicit rough exterior. To conclude, the time of these poets' works gave gave way to a recognition of race, class, and culture through the use of mass media. In part, the cohesion of these elements presented and combined together strive through the hearts of these African American writers, decisively revealing and showing an identity, such as the dark-skinned brother in I Too, and his internal call for action versus the pool player 7 at the golden shovel, ultimately present the plots in the poem to a theory of tone. The use of character is shown through the feeling of integrity and commitment. Conflict mechanisms within the poem decode the shapes of the hearts of the characters, all bringing the poem's text a little closer to an understanding. With the use of character, determination, and swagger, and We Real Cool, the message is delivered that the mentalities of the main characters are where they ought to be and symbolize how they're going to get there. The poem also carries a proliferating symbolic meaning. The poems also carry a proliferating symbolic meaning, carry symbolic messages and meanings to collaborate with the author, with what the authors are trying to perceive or explain about the tone's central idea to the reader. As in I Too Sing America, the table is presented to make the statement that there are possibilities to almost a non-existent reality of freedom. Also in We Real Cool, in which a setting of a golden shovel can reiterate the dexterity of a fearless attitude, ending off with a structure of sound that completes the integrity of the tone by word formation and use of style. As in I Too Sing America brings a smooth sound that has comedy to the characters and bringing the attitude, which in turn relay a feeling of hope. Whereas We Real Cool whereas We Real Cool focuses on community, I Too Sing America leans toward redemption. Okay, 12 minutes. So I think this is crap, right? I gave the first draft 8 shit. I had to totally rewrite the second one. I don't like it. It's too mechanic. I think it's too, the diction's a bit too high. I don't know, but I have to write in a simpler form to give better detail, and I don't know, to me, I thought that the paper was kind of alright, and I also feel that it was strong enough to get a good grade, but now I have to study a little bit more and write a little bit better because there were some things missing. So I'm gonna start over, right? This is my cue card. Okay, so before I do anything, I'm gonna read this one. It's a good poem, and I thought I should have used it, but I didn't. White Lies by Natasha Threkway. The lies I could tell when I was growing up, light bright, near white, high yellow, red bones, in a black place, were just white lies. I could easily tell the white folks that we lived uptown, not in that pink and green shanty field shotgun section along the tracks. I could act of Mason Blanche. I could even keep quiet, quiet as kept, like the time a white girl said, squeezing my hand, now we have 3 of us in class. Okay. The thematic message in this poem, I would believe, is one person thematic message would have to be on being free. Um, the girl is trapped by the color of her skin. She is black, but she doesn't look black. She looks white. And in that manner, she has to lie constantly about her color of her skin to the outside world and to the inside world. She's also ashamed of who she is, uh, not to anybody else but to herself. She's embarrassed of that she has to lie to white people that she lived uptown. She was ashamed that she um, lived in the projects, Shantyfield shotgun section along the tracks, and she was ashamed of what people said about who she was, you know. And she also had to lie to herself more, you know. She could act as she was white and keep quiet as kept, like so quiet, like a girl that she could relate to in class that said, "There's just three of us, you know, so quiet." She's like, but she heard it so loud, you know. So anyway, something like that. That's what I got out of it. It's a summary, right? Dramatic message, symbolism. It might sound shitty, but screw you. Okay, I'm kind of pissed off because I have to rewrite my paper. Okay, so I'm gonna do like Choosing America, and as a comparison essay example, a comparison essay point by point. Okay, I'm gonna look at some things and try to get some ideas for what I'm gonna write on. So I'm looking at symbolism, metaphors, diction, the subject, the theme, sound, and subject. Also, I'm going to be trying to look at, I'm going to be going over to possibly write. I have to write notes and stuff for all this shit. Messages, imageries, styles of the poem, figurative language, and tone. So far, I'm very upset because I thought that was good. I spent fucking 3 weeks writing that. Right? They want an explanation of what, why, and relatively like bring it like to like personal. And me, I'm like, okay, put this in a book or an article and leave it. I don't know. I don't know. I hope my professor doesn't see this. Okay. What I wrote was I have all kinds of notes. Masculine, feminine rhymes, alliteration, assonance, I schemes, couplets, heroic couplets, alternating rhymes, sonnets, both Italian and English, euphony, cacophony, onomatopoeia, slant rhyme, near rhyme, off rhyme, same shit. Let me see. Theories. Let's see. But I have to start over. So what I'm going to do is go over the main goals, and I'm going to explore the relationships between the two poems. I'm going to look at the theme and the techniques, and I'm going to try to make the best selection I can to get relevant material, both statements and points. I'm going to try to compare the similarities and differences. So I have my little paper here. I'm going to be comparing the similarities and differences of poem 1 and poem 2, both on this paper, right? I've already went over one of the poems, I Too, and Sing America, and I've gone over the symbols, the metaphors, the assonance, figurative language, rhythm, and imagery. So hopefully, it'll work out, right? So now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna look into this. And I'm gonna take a look at what it is that's wanted from me, right? It says here English 102 essay 2 poetry continued 100 points. For essay 2, select the 2 poems that address the same theme. In your essay, compare and contrast how the thematic messages or the advancements of the thematic message differ in the 2 poems. The comparison of the thematic messages should be presented in your thesis statement at the end of your introduction. In the body of your tone, essays will explain how the poems advance in their messages by drawing on tone, diction, word order, allusion, connotation, imagery, figure of speech, sound, and/or symbols. In your introduction, offer a summary paraphrase in the poem prior to giving the thesis. Your final essay should be at least a complete 4 pages, but no more than 5 pages. One of your 2 poems can be the poem you selected for essay 1. Select from the following list. Turn to the index of major themes. There's select 2 poems from the following themes: individual versus society, love and desire, race, class, and culture, or family and parents, or any 2 poems that we discussed in class. Thesis. At the end of the introduction, stating the poem's thematic message, give a summary paraphrase of the poem prior to the thesis. You should at least one of the following and explication of the thematic message: tone, diction, word order, allusion, connotation, denotation, imagery, figure of speech, sound, and symbols. Intro, body, and concluding paragraphs, at least a complete 4 pages, no more than 5. Work cites does not count towards the requirements. MLA format. Submit the final draft. Turn it in. Bring a hard copy to class. So we did this peer workshops. Optional second draft for instructor feedback. We did that. In the final draft, which is due on the 13th. Like 6 days, 5 days to finish. I'm pissed because I thought that was good. Right? Thematic message. Right? Tone was in there. Diction wasn't in there. Word order was in there. Illusion was in there. Imagery was in there. Figure of speech was in there. And sound and/or symbols was definitely in there. Right? So let's go over what thematic message means. I know what thematic message means, but I'm going to go over it again. Reading a poem. Any composition of a line or more in less regular rhythm is often ending in rhymes is verse. Right? Paraphrasing, to paraphrase a poem as a whole, or perhaps just more difficult lines. In paraphrasing, we can put our own words to what we understand the poem to say. Right? Paraphrasing. Type of poem, lyric poems, narrative poems, dramatic monologue, dramatic poetry, addictive poetry. And verse paraphrasing. Here, I got it in here. 26 minutes. Dramatic message is like half of back here. I just have to look at my notes. Is a message. Knowledge. Story. The story. Bread. Narrative. Sorry, bread. Critical thinking was the first thing you talked about. Scope. Glossing. Theme analysis, about what? Theme analysis is about what is the story about. So I find a theme. The thematic message is, what does it say about mistakes? So what does it say about freedom? And message I2 is one of direct change. This message is from the perspective of an African American male that has been raised in slavery, but even though he has seen harsher times, such as of racism in his life, he still finds a place where he can comfortably see change. He knows that through his positive state of self, that he himself can bring change to his future. This change will come from within his personality and reveal itself to derive a change. Change not from being a product of an outward conductiveness such as slavery, but set to be reconciled by a change of situation and left on its own recognizance. So yeah, that's what I have for that. So I'm gonna get back to work. That was the thematic message for I2. I have to write a thematic message for uh, for Be So Cool, and then I have to figure out it's the same theme. Then I have to compare and contrast on how the thematic messages or advancements of the thematic message differ in the two poems. So how are they different, and the way that they are different. Right. So I'm itching my feet. So I'll be back after this, hopefully to complain some more. Hey.